Before starting, can I thank Professor Ellen Hart-Jones, Director of the Centre for Welsh and Celtic Studies, and Kay Willis from the European Centre for Minority Issues, and of course to Lily and Heather at the back for all of the coordination work for today. It's really been a huge pleasure to work together, and I hope that today will lead to further collaboration into the future on various issues and topics. It's almost a decade since the Welsh football team succeeded at the Euros, and I'm very indebted to Ian Gwyn Hughes, who will be speaking shortly, for supporting and leading our national team to be not just a football team, but ambassadors for Welsh language and culture. Ian's innovation has really transformed attitudes towards the language, and the success of the national team has been normalised and has normalised attitudes towards the language within sport completely. Thank you, Ian. To end, at the beginning of the week, Ellen and I were in the Swansea Valley having a discussion about the language, and during that discussion we talked about habits and changing habits after COVID, and how the community was getting engaged and involved with each other. And what became clear to us was that the football club and the rugby club were the backbone of those communities. So although people are working from home, working on teams, everyone on the sports pitches on Saturday and Sunday mornings, families were there, different generations, children, and quite often as well, the football club and the rugby club are what holds the birthday party or the 50th birthday party. So we thought, with the deterioration of chapels and communities across Wales, local sports clubs are fast becoming the backbone and a focus, very important focus and hub for language and culture in our communities. So I'm really looking forward to today. We have very fascinating and packed programme. I'm not going to speak any further. I'm now going to hand over to Ellen. Thank you very much.
I'm not Ellen. Surprise. Hi, bore da, good morning. Is this okay? Yeah. Yes, firstly, thanks for everyone for coming. It's good to see a full room. Thanks very much to the Welsh Government colleagues for having us collaborate on this. So I'm speaking on behalf of the European Centre for Minority Issues at the moment. I will also present some of my research afterwards, but this will be from the institutional perspective. So thanks also to Cardiff Met and to the University of Wales, Trinity St David. There's lots of different partners that you can see on the back of the programme, the institutional logos. So it's been a nice journey already working just to organise this, and now it's nice to actually be here on the day. I'm from the European Centre for Minority Issues. We're based in Flensburg in North Germany. It's in the Danish-German border region. We focus broadly on national and linguistic minorities, comparatively mostly of colleagues from all across Western, Central, Eastern Europe. I've done a lot of previous work with Ellen Huff over the last 5 or 6 years now. So this is kind of also a continuation of this. Relating to my PhD work as well. She was one of my supervisors for. At the ECMI, we were keen to collaborate with international partners, international regional governments. So this is a great opportunity for us in an area we're haven't done so much past work in, let's say. But this is also part of our increasing focus on linguistic minorities rather than national minorities. Although that continues, that was what the founding rationale for the centre, I guess, because the reason it's in that region is you have a Danish minority in Germany and a German minority in Denmark, either side of the border. We also have North Frisians in the border, often forgotten as the third minority there, but they they are around as well. But there's been a desire to refocus the geographic balance. So within this, our centre joined the European Language Equality Network, ELEN, which ELEN is the current president of, and we have Miriam Wellinger, one of the vice presidents, and other members of ELEN. So this, I also see this as kind of under that kind of branch of networking as well, and that I think will also be relevant for the future steps. So football is a bit of a side project for me when it comes to academic focus, but something that we're trying to increase. So within the ECMI, I work in a cluster on politics and civil society. So we see football as a big avenue for civil society organizations, and that's also part of the motivation. And then the final aspect, I guess, is the media element. So my primary focus is on media in regional and minority languages. That was what my PhD was on. And within this, sport, in particular live sport and live football in most cases, is a big significant genre for broadcasters, but also newspapers and things like this. And it's also a bridge between different speaker groups, a way to bring in non-speakers of the language to the audience, things like this. So we see very much this element. And I'll also briefly mention that within this context, we have recently launched a EU cost action on minority language media. It's called Pluriling Media, and I can say a bit more about that later. But essentially, it's a 4-year project that now will bring together. It's aimed at involving non-academic stakeholders as well, so it brings together policymakers, researchers, practitioners, and I think there's quite a few ways to bring in football or sports into this within its thematic working groups. So I think Enrique, the chair for one of the later sessions, will say a bit more because he's one of the working group leaders. But it also involves Ellen, myself, Miriam, and I extend the invitation to this. So I think, although it seems that it's a one-off event, I see it as the beginning of something that has the potential for many different steps going forward, future events, involving different contexts. Of course, in Wales, the situation is slightly different because you have a national team, whereas the other international contexts we look at, typically the identity or the language is driven through club level. And I'm happy that we have a few international speakers that will say something to this. But I think there's lots of stuff to learn from in that regard. And so thank you. I'll hand over now to Alan. Okay, thanks a lot.